This is coverage of the 2022 NADA show on CBT News.
Hi everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick at the NADA 2022 convention in Las Vegas, and we're at the Proactive Dealer Solutions booth. The reason that we wanted to bring you guys here is because these guys are making some big waves in retail automotive, doing some really cool things. So I'm joined today by Lawson Owen, who is the CEO, and also Jason Beckett, who is the COO of this company, doing great things. Welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
Thanks for having us, Jim.
Your booth is busy as hell back there.
Yeah.
We're kind of on the back side of it right now because there's a lot going on. But for the dealers that are not quite as familiar with your company as we are here at the show, you've been on a number of times already, which has been great, got great responses. Tell them a little bit about, kind of give us your elevator pitch about your company.
So Proactive Dealer Solutions, over the years, we've been in business for over 20 years, probably 22 years now. We really started out with business development centers, process management, lead management.
Right.
And we were training, consulting, and soft skills. And then over the years, what we've done is we've built out tech-enabled services, right, to enable the dealer to not only enhance the customer experience, right, but also to improve efficiencies. And we've certainly done that with Brooke, our digital voice assistant.
Yeah, we want to talk to you about that today.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about what Brooke is all about.
Yeah, so Brooke is automotive's first digital voice assistant
Okay.
that handles inbound service calls. So she'll answer, handle, and appoint those inbound service calls. She can set, cancel, change appointments.
Wow.
She can even do FAQ questions like hours of operation, location, even answer pricing questions.
Sure.
And she can act as a receptionist. She can route calls to the different departments, really eliminating the need for an outdated IVR. So she's really your best service scheduling coordinator at scale.
Well, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. So, and this is 24/7.
Yep,
I mean,
she
so
works
if somebody
24
calls
hours.
up, if somebody calls up at 9 o'clock, wants to set an appointment in service, they can do that.
Yep, a lot of dealers start with us doing after hours and overflow, and then quickly put Brooke up front once they start to see the results.
Brooke actually, on average, schedules 10,000 appointments a month from after hours and overflow calls.
Wow.
The average service department has a 30% call failure rate, so 3 out of 10 calls aren't being answered.
Wow.
So the dealer first goes in and says, hey, I know we're not answering the phone, let's eliminate that call failure, and then obviously the after hours, and she does an amazing job. Once they get comfortable with the technology, then they put her at the front of the room, if you will. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so this, and I would imagine something like this a dealer looks at, as I would as a former dealer, and say, instead of spending more and more money in advertising, whether it be fixed ops or variable ops, let's find out who's calling to set appointments currently, right?
Right. Well, we're not answering the phones.
Right.
We can't find people that want to work. They don't stick around.
Yeah.
You've got the attrition rate, right?
That's right.
And so Brooke eliminates all of that.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. So talk to us, what kind of feedback have you gotten from dealers on this?
Yeah, so a lot of dealers do start off with after hours and overflow, but that really only counts for about 1% of the appointments that Brooke sets.
Okay.
Very quickly, they find that they do get a lot more overflow calls than they realize. So a lot of those calls were failing. They didn't know that. So when we compare a dealer that started us with after hours till after they're up and running and Brooke's handling the overflow calls, about 20 to 30% of all appointments are being set by Brooke just from overflow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So the dealers that are on it, they got to be reporting back just incredible results with this.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things we look at is we compare how Brooke does to the actual BDC agents.
Right.
And we actually see that Brooke has the same show rate as the appointments that are being set by the BDC agents.
Incredible.
And she actually books, from a dollar per RO standpoint, she's booking more, $437 per RO versus the same
huge
BDC
money.
agents at $370 per RO.
Wow.
And the reason for that is because Brooke is much more consistent with everything she's collecting and how she's booking the services.
Sure. And Brooke is going to cap your costs, so you don't need to bring on all this manpower to do this.
Well, you can do one of two things, right? And initially we thought that dealers would be able to reduce their staff or their head count.
Right.
What we've seen is that they actually just reallocate those resources, right? So they let Brooke handle the inbound calls, and then they have a team that just focuses on that database mining, that retention, right?
Yeah.
Every outbound call to a customer is a retention call, and we don't do that well. In service, right? Historically, we've never really done that well.
That's right.
So we're able to free up the staff to focus on those outbound campaigns, which are normally neglected.
Yeah, we're very pro-human, pro-BDC. What Brooke allows you to do from a dealer's perspective is repurpose that team to either focus on the outbound calls, or if it's the service advisors that were traditionally handling those calls, now they can focus on the face-to-face customers, the customers in the drive.
Gotcha.
So they do more effective walkaround because the multi-point inspection, they don't really do it, right?
right.
They're processing as opposed to upselling.
Yeah, for sure.
So we free them up to be able to do that.
And for the dealers that prefer the human touch, Brooke is really just, Brooke can be there as a safety net.
Sure.
We've seen, we actually had one of our performance coaches was doing on-site soft skills last week at a dealership, and the phone system went down, and the BDC was panicking. They had Brooke, so it was okay. Brooke was handling those inbound calls, and our performance coach is then able to take the team off the phones to actually do skills training so that they're developing.
That's incredible. So, you know, we're at NADA, and there's, I think, 600 exhibits here. And as one dealer said, this is all great. When we buy a product, it's all about the support. Right, because the software can be fantastic. I know you guys, in talking to some of your clients prior to today's conversation with you, they said that you guys kill it on support. Talk to us about the importance of it and a little bit about the team.
So we have an internal team of account managers, right? So we service about 1,600 dealers a month.
Jeez. And
we've got a team that weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, whatever the cadence might be, communicate or engage with our dealers.
Okay.
Right? So we over-communicate. Like I think some of the dealers want to tap out and go, okay, I get it, we're good, right? We just want to share the data. We want them to understand what it's performing because, you know, as a business owner, you want to know that if I'm spending $10, am I making $100?
Right.
And we want them to be aware of not only the performance of the system, but also what that return on investment is.
Right.
And if there is a problem, like we're there 24/7.
Yeah.
So we're going to help.
That is a beautiful thing. So talk to me, for the dealers that are listening to us right now and they're saying, yeah, you know what, I'm looking at some of these other solutions. What should a dealer focus on when they're shopping for a service like this? And I know you guys are a little cut above anything that I've been exposed to, but what should they be thinking about? What should they be asking?
Well, I think number one is to test it out. Really test it out for yourself. Really, you know, seeing is believing, or in this case, hearing is believing. So really try out, make the calls, see how that digital voice assistant actually performs.
Right.
One of the other things we would recommend is really see what the digital voice assistant is capturing, meaning what's actually going into the DMS. Are they capturing the customer information correctly? Are they getting the vehicle information correct?
Right.
Are they actually scheduling the right service? Because if the digital voice assistant can't do it accurately, then it's really not serving the purpose.
It's counterproductive.
Right, exactly. And then the last thing is we would look at what's the transfer rate. If a lot of calls are coming in, but that digital voice assistants end up transferring them, like, are you really saving yourself any effort?
Yeah,
And then the last, you know, ultimately what we're trying to do is book appointments.
Right.
So how well does and how accurate is the digital voice assistant in booking those appointments?
Sure. Do you guys run surveys with consumers of your clients to say, hey, how did you guys like this system? Would they rather do business with this? I know when I call up, if I'm calling Delta and I can get it done through AI, I'm all about it. I don't necessarily need to wait for somebody.
We've actually seen an increase in adoption rate from the consumers. We just launched back in September, August or September, and the adoption rate from the consumer, their participation is growing every month. So the market is there for it, the consumers, because it sounds harsh, but most people don't want to deal with people.
I know they don't. I know.
Right? They just want to get in and accomplish what they want.
That's right. Even texting. I mean, it's like everybody wants to text versus.
Do you know the average hold time when you call a dealership is like 3.5 minutes?
Oh my God.
Brooke answers the call immediately, and she's going to have you in and off the call in less than 3 minutes.
Right. Wow.
So as a point of comparison, if you're concerned about the customer experience and if you want to have a customer-centric environment, Brooke helps you cross that chasm, if you will, and make sure that you're servicing the customer the way that you and I would expect to be serviced.
Sure. Right. So for some of those old-time dealers like me that says, well, I'm not so sure I want to turn this over to an AI situation, what kind of a trial do you guys offer to say, look, just try us on for size? Last time you were in our studios, you mentioned something where it was just, look, just give us the stuff that you're not currently getting. Let us show you what we can do with that, right?
Yeah, so we actually have a phone number that dealers can call in to test out Brooke.
Okay.
And actually try setting an appointment just to see how easy and seamless it is.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one dealer said to me, he said, I was sold on Brooke when I called my competing store. They had it. He goes, I'm done, because it was so easy. Somebody had told me about it, and that's kind of how, I guess, the word got out there, right?
Yeah, and, I mean, long time in the car business, we all know, if we're honest, that the phones aren't our strong suit.
There's no question about it.
We know that either we're not answering the phone and we're not doing a good job.
That's right.
And that's all that Brooke has really done, is to improve those efficiencies and enhance that customer experience.
That's right. Most dealers can't even listen to the phone calls coming into the dealership.
It's painful.
Oh my God, they usually, after the third one,
they want to hurt someone after they're done.
That's exactly
either themselves or someone else, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate it. Lawson and Jason, both from Proactive Dealer Solutions. We'll show all of the information on the video under this. Also a link to connect with these guys so they can show you a full demonstration on it. But these are the kind of things that we want to bring to you at CBT News. use, because dealers are always asking, how are we going to win against some of the disruptors out there? This is one of the ways to do that. So, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Jim.
Really
Appreciate
appreciate it.
it.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.